Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine no possessions. Wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will live as one. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out the beautiful song Imagine by John Lennon. This is a really lovely one on guitar. You can play it pretty simply, but there's lots of little things that you can steal from the piano part that work great on guitar too. So we're going to start easy, and gradually I'm going to build up the embellishments, and you can add in as many or as few as you like. Let's get to a close-up. The intro starts with the C chord for 1 bar, and then it goes to an F for 1 bar. Now, if you're already thinking like, oh, I can't do that F, you can do lots of the F variations as well. I commonly play it like this, with the thumb reaching over to play the bass note. And then I'm actually not playing the thinner string at all. I want this C note on the second string to be the top note. That would be kind of my preferred way of playing it most of the time. Sometimes I just use my third finger and I hold down 2 strings with just my third finger. That's definitely not for beginners. But you could also use mini F, just like that, so flattening your first finger out there, second and third fingers, or if that's a struggle, even F major 7, just the thinnest 4 strings. That one's a really nice one if you're new to the guitar, just having a regular C and moving second and third fingers down 1 string, but leaving first finger where it was, and that way you get your F major 7. Okay, so anytime that I'm doing the little demo thing, if I'm playing F, you could be playing F like that with the thumb over, or just stopping on the second string, or mini F, or F major 7, or this F major 7 is quite a nice one, so you're just leaving off that bass note. 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, thinner string if you want the F major 7, or mute the thinner string. That one works nice too. Any of those will work well for this F because we're in the key of C. So intro, C, 2, 3, 4 to F, whichever F you want to play. Back to C, 2, 3, 4. or maybe you do this other F, that one. Then into the verses, so it starts with the C again. Imagine there's no F chord. C. It's easy if you F major 7, or easier. Back to C. No hell below F chord. That's because F chord is hell. Back to C. Above us only F. So the verses are pretty simple, right? Now we get to this little kind of bridgey part. Now it's really an F for 2 beats, then a C with an E bass. Now again, you could just play C chord. If you want to play C chord, you could have F, imagine C, the D minor to C bass. We'll talk about that in a sec. But really, to get the kind of the flow of the tune, you want this F going to the E. So F, then to C with an E bass. So it's as simple as playing a full C chord, but playing the thicker string as well. That's C with an E bass. Now, I find that that kind of can sound a little bit muddy sometimes. So the way I usually play it is like a regular C chord, but I lift off 3rd finger and I mute the 5th string with my 2nd finger. So it's kind of like, it looks like an A minor 7. Some of you might know A minor 7, but we're muting the 5th string. That's really important if you're going to play it that way. If you're struggling with that, just play a regular C and play the open thicker string, or just play regular C. It's completely up to you. So F for 2, C with an E bass, to D minor, to D minor over C. Now there's a few different approaches to this one as well. So I usually play D minor using my 1st, 2nd and 4th finger, and then 3rd finger can reach down to play this C note. And if you're playing that, don't worry about if your 3rd finger mutes the 4th string, because that can kind of sound good as well. Otherwise, again, you get that clash between the C and the open D. So if you're doing D minor to D minor slash C, so D minor with the C bass note. If you really struggle with that, you could just move to C chord. It doesn't quite sound as good, but you could have F, imagine C to D minor to C to G is the last chord there. Okay, so F, C with an E bass or regular C to D minor with a C bass. Now the other option here for the D minor to the D minor with the C bass that some of you might find easier is to play D minor 7. So that kind of looks like the thinnest part of an F chord, but with the open 4th string, 2nd fret, 1st fret, 1st fret. So you only need fingers 1 and 2. And that makes it a little easier to reach over with that 3rd finger. And I'm pretty sure it's D minor 7 on the original recording, the piano part. I'm pretty sure it's a D minor 7. So you might like to do that, either one. I like the sound of D minor to D minor over C. I like the sound of that one. But any of these, that works just as well. And then we're going to a G chord, 2, 3, 4 for 2 bars. Then it goes back to the verse again. So there's C, 2, 3, 4 to F, 2, 3, 4, back to C. Let's all revise it, hey? Remember, you could do F major 7. Or with the thumb over, it's up to you. Back to C. Nothing to kill. Or F4 to C. And no religion, F. Now back to the bridge again. So we got the F. Imagine all the C with an E chord bass to D minor with a C bass. To G chord, life in speed. Still on the G. Now into kind of the proper chorus. We're going to go F for 2, G for 2, C for 2, to E major to 2, F. And I'm G the only C to E to F. I hope some G you will see chord to E major F. And the G will see as one I often do this little second finger hammer on thing there. You don't have to do that, it's not on the record. But I think it sounds nice on guitar. So that's the basic framework, and as far as the rhythm goes for the intro, I recommend just thinking about playing on the beat, but allowing yourself to add in some upstrokes as you like. So I'm really thinking down, 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 down. That's really where the pulse I'm feeling is. But you notice my hand is moving twice as far. So if I was going to add in something else, it would just be this little strum. So big, small, big, small, big, small, big. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that would be definitely the starting point. I wouldn't even worry about trying to add in any upstrokes to start off with. Just really working on it. So imagine there's no F chord, C to F. That's definitely rhythmically, you want to get real solid with that before you add in any extra strums. Okay, so once you've through that, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up, down. Now, because we're copying the piano part, there's not really a set thing. If you want to really go to town with nailing down the piano part, you probably want to be doing it fingerstyle and aiming for this. Okay, just doing like fingers together and then thumb. That's not what I'm teaching you here. I am going to go through all of those little embellishments though, because they're super nice. Starting off though, really important, simple chords, making sure you got the rhythm right. Don't go trying to add in embellishments if you can't play the basic chords well. Okay, otherwise you're going to end up kind of knocking yourself out of time by trying to put the embellishments in, and then it just doesn't sound good. Remember, if you're going to play this song, especially in front of other people, they're probably going to want to sing along, either singing in their head or singing along like a campfire, a party situation. They're going to want to sing. So the rhythm is really important. If you muck the rhythm up, it's going to throw everyone off who's trying to sing along with you. So that's why it's so important to develop a really strong rhythmic bass. Okay, big deal. Let's go into adding some of these little fills, particularly the main riff for the piano, which I think is it's the key of the song. Interestingly, I did a lesson on this song 11 years ago, and I don't think I did the riff right. I just re-listened to the song and I'm like, yeah, there's some extra bits in here, so I'm going to give you a little bit more accurate copy of the piano part if you happen to have seen that lesson all of those years ago. So we're starting off with a C chord, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and on beat 4 we're going to lift off first finger to get a C major 7, and really we want to hear that note. Now, so the thinner string is actually muted by the underneath of my other fingers. Can't remember to try to see. It's actually the underneath of my third finger is muting the thinner string. Doesn't really matter if you hit it, but just it's nice to hear that movement. So C, 2, 3, C major 7 to F, 2, 3, 4, E and. Now I always used to teach, but it's not, it's second fret with the second finger, third finger, third fret, this is on the third string, open B string, F, 2, 3, 4, E and. So I'm just doing pick, hammer, pick. But you could, if you want to pick down, up, down, you could. I just find it easier to do pick, hammer, pick. C, 2, 3, first finger off to F, whatever way you're playing it. 4, E and. Now, it's very obvious now I'm listening to the piano part that it's actually a C add 9. So to get a C add 9, start with a regular C and add a little finger on the third fret of the second string. Okay, so this is a C add 9, but you're still lifting little finger off, and still no first finger either to get that C major 7 on beat 4. So you have C add 9, 1, 2, 3, little finger off to the F, 2, 3, 4 E and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 E and 1. And I'll just really work on this nice and slowly first, if you want to get that involved. It does make it sound just like the tune. 2, 3, open B string to F. 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, 1. And you can see now I'm adding some extra strums in. And then thinking about it and fluffing that a little bit, but anyway, whatever. 2, 3. So all that's happening there, the growth in the rhythm is just still thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 but allowing that motion of my hand to sometimes get some extra strings. Try and let your kind of musical imagination guide where it is that you're going to add those extra ones. Because like I said, we're copying the piano. There's not a set pattern that you have to do. If you want me to tell you a set pattern, I'd go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a down, 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 up, down, up. I guess would be the summary pattern that you could apply for most of it. But that's not really where it's at. Try and think of just the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and with the ands being a little softer and mainly focused on the thicker strings, and then just add in the strums as you want. So let's look at some more of the details. So the intro, C, major 7 to F, 2, 3, 4 E and to the add 9, C add 9, major 7 to F. It's the same for the verse to F chord. It's easy if you F. Do feel free though that you maybe leave out the riff. No hell below us. If you struggle with it, much better to play it in time without the riff. Above us only sky. Now I like a little E note there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1. Imagine all the C with an E bass to D minor or D minor 7 with a C bass. Living life in peace. Now I always go, I'm adding to G chord, I'm adding my second finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string and then kind of sliding it up into the 3rd fret as well. So we end up with 3rd fret mute, 3rd fret open, open, 3rd fret to G7. And the reason is the melody is going living life in peace. So if I play living life in peace, gives that little harmony there. I have mucked around in the past with doing like that whole. So having, this is like a G6 sus4, adding 1st finger 1st fret 2nd string and 2nd finger 2nd fret 4th string, and then little finger has to jump over at the same time the 2nd finger going up, which for me it just makes it too complicated and then I lose my moment in the tune, especially if I'm singing. I'm probably thinking about that at that point. So I prefer just adding the 2nd finger. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the chorus, F to G. Now there's a nice part here as well. C, C major 7, E to E7. So F to G, and then C, C major 7, E to E7, F. It's really nice movement, copies again the piano. Now, one other thing that I'll mention with this tune is doing something different at certain points of the song. If you do it exactly the same all of the way through, so you use the same strumming pattern and the same embellishments right the way through, for me it starts to get a little bit samey, particularly in that last verse, the Imagine No Possessions one. When you've got through that much of the song, because it doesn't really have a kind of a bridge, like a completely different part. I really feel like in that one I try and drop it down a little bit. I think perhaps in my intro thing I could have done more. I would have probably, if I was just playing it not as a lesson, I would have started sparser without the embellishments right at the beginning. Just because, again, it gives the song somewhere to grow. Because this is a lesson, I wanted you to hear those embellishments right at the front so that you knew, oh, like that's what's getting taught in the lesson. I added them in there right away. But again, I think if you're playing a song like this, maybe if I was performing at family and friends or whatever, at a campfire, barbecue, whatever, party, then I would start with the riff. So everyone goes, oh, it's Imagine. And then I would drop it down again and play the first verse a lot sparser, a lot less strumming, no embellishments, no little piano riff, and then gradually kind of build the tune up again. So just a good way of doing stuff like this is to record yourself playing a song and then watch it back with a critical eye and just imagine like, well, you know, am I getting bored of it? Try and detach yourself a little bit. I often think like, what would somebody who I really respect say if they heard this? I've got a really good mate, Owen, who's a music producer, and often if I'm playing something, I watch it back and go, what would Owen tell me about that? He'd say that I'm using the same strummer all the way through, or he'd say that bit's out of tune, or that needs doing this, or, you know, so trying to imagine somebody else's feedback, even though I'm giving it to myself, sometimes can kind of help me get an honest appraisal of my own work. You might find that helpful too. Really hope you enjoy playing this tune and that it brings you a little bit of happiness this year. It's always a song that makes me happy. It makes me realize how much wrong stuff there is in the world, particularly at the moment. So many wars around. I wish more people kind of felt this way. Maybe more dreamers in the world might make it a little bit better. Anyways, hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.